Let's try that again. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks, Don. Well, welcome to Global Entrepreneurship Week with our edition of 1 Million Cups in Orlando. Raise your hand if you have never been here before. It's okay, don't be shy. We won't pick on you. It's all right. Okay, well, welcome. We're so happy that you guys came. Letting you know about what 1 Million Cups is. We are in 90 cities. We're hosted by Kaufman. We're founded by Kaufman, and we help run the Orlando chapter here. Every Wednesday morning, we, as well as 90 other cities across the nation, we put on an entrepreneur's pitch. So every Wednesday morning, we have 2 entrepreneurs that come in through our doors. They do a pitch for 6 minutes, and then there's a 20-minute question and answer session. We like to call ourselves Guppy Tank, if you've ever seen the show Shark Tank, because we're not as mean. We try not to be, and we want to be an encouraging platform for all entrepreneurs. And what an exciting time right now for Global Entrepreneurship Week as we host it. So we're in support of the community of Orlando. There are so many events happening on this week, so we're happy to just be one. So let me do some shout outs. We are sponsored by Rollins College. Becky, thank you so much. They help host us every Wednesday morning, so when you come in, you have a beautiful place to sit and to look at. We're also hosted by Barney's Coffee. They help supply our caffeination because we are 1 million cups of coffee. We're big believers in caffeine. And we also want to give a shout out to Randall, who's in charge of our live stream. Everyone say hello, Randall. Oh, it's Wednesday, okay. Well, he live streams to different places throughout Orlando. We're at Starter Studio currently. We're also at Canvas. And we are broadcasted across the nation. Even when people travel and they go out of our country, we get tweets and we get feeds that they're so thankful they can watch us. So make sure you say hello to the live stream. This morning, we have 2 entrepreneurs who will be presenting with us. We're really thankful to have them. And as usual, with all of our volunteers, we work off of social tweets and hugs. So if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, if you're not connected with us, make sure you do connect with us. All of our names are up here. As organizers, I'm going to call them out right now. Jan, give a big wave. That's one of our volunteers. Isabella, give a big wave, one of our volunteers. Angela's watching from home. Hello, Angela. And my name is Stephanie. We all help organize this show. We help put a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes, and we're always looking for helpers. So if you are interested in organizing or volunteering, come let us know. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Gerald. He is going to tell us about his company. Come on up. Direct Audio. Give him a warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Wonderful. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So my name is Gerald Primus, and I'm the founder of Direct Audio. And I'm excited to share with you the Direct Audio experience. After a successful beta launch in 2014, we are now able to bring to the marketplace a revolutionary, innovative technology that turns anybody's smartphone into an assisted listening device. So as I said before, this is actually my second time here. I came last year right before our beta, and it went off very well at select locations around town. And currently, we're working with several locations here nationally and internationally. And I'm also very proud to announce that we do have celebrity endorsement in the form of Johnny Damon, who is a 2-time World Series champion and also celebrity apprentice. So, I'd like you to consider for a moment that the $167 billion TV industry is currently undergoing a massive disruption. We're currently seeing new ways of streaming media like Amazon, Google, and Apple TV, just to name a few. And the result is we have lots of people who are cutting their cable cords. However, at the same time, the football industry and the sports industry is becoming more entrenched with the cable companies. So, what is a person to do who cuts their cable cord and still loves sports? The result is we're seeing more and more people streaming into sports stadiums, sports bars. However, there is a major problem with somebody who walked into a sports bar with lots of media on the screen. And I'd like you for a moment to remember a time when you were at a sports bar, maybe a restaurant or gym, and your favorite team was playing, or maybe breaking news was happening. But the point is, you really wanted to hear that TV. Now, we've all had that problem from time to time, right? Well, Direct Audio has an innovative solution that streams the audio off of any TV in the room to your smartphone for personalized audio right now. Now, how it works is we provide restaurants with our Direct Audio servers. They simply plug into the back of any TV or media source. And after that, anybody can walk into that room, download the app, connect via Wi-Fi for personalized audio. So since the last time I was here, we've made a lot of different moves, and we've developed not only key partnerships. We have our first paying sponsor in Yingling. We have partnered with an IT firm that allows us to do support for up to 50,000 of our clients, IT support and help desk. We've rolled out our first main restaurant chain in Harry Buffalo's. We have 2 graffiti junctions installed, one in Dr. Phillips and also one in Longwood. And we've also partnered with a military contractor by the name of Stackframe to continue developing our proprietary software. And we've contracted with a mobile app company out of Europe who is developing distribution channels that way as well. So, Direct Audio's future is bright. Every major sports chain in the country is looking for this solution. They all understand the problem, multiple TVs, and people really want to hear a certain one of them. Direct Audio has built the best system of its kind. We have 0-second lag, high reliability. We're pioneering second screen technologies that will allow users and media companies to interact in ways never before. And we're going to win with the network effect. It only takes 6% of a crowd to change its direction. And with Johnny Damon and other marketing efforts, we believe that we can build a name brand that will actually get this job done. And again, I'd just like to point out this is a massive growth industry with disruption going on in a $100+ billion industry. There's many opportunities. And also, it's been a real pleasure to build key partnerships with media firms, European business people, as well as major corporations here locally. And thank you for your attention.
So we're opening up for questions.
What do you have for people who don't care about sports?
Well, that's a great question. We actually cater to a number of different industries, including trains, well, anywhere you can hear a TV. So even if you're at the gym and breaking news is happening and there's something going on, you'll never be able to really hear that TV unless you're stuck at a treadmill possibly. So with this feature, if you walked into a gym like the zoo, for example, then you can just quickly tune in that TV pretty simply. So it's really about whatever media is around you that you would like to hear, but for whatever reason it's either too noisy or too loud to afford that, or there's too many options. So there's lots of different places.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm curious, how do you protect this in terms of intellectual property? What keeps some others from saying, hey, this is a wonderful idea, I'm going to do it too?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. We do have a number of proprietary features from hardware to software, and it is a challenging thing to do. So a lot of people actually are coming to me to work with me. We have a group of independent AV installers that are very interested in distributing this system, and a few other people have tried before and not been able to hit the mark right. One competitor who went out of business was only able to get the lag time to 3 seconds. So a 3-second lag time and a 0-second lag time is where we're at today. It's a much better product.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, JP.
Hey.
Hey, can you tell us about your business internationally? Because you mentioned you got a great sponsor over in England. From what I've talked to you about previously, international is bigger right now than American. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, Europeans actually do kind of pick up technology a little bit quicker sometimes. The company we're working with is actually a state-owned media company that actually owns a train. And on that train, they have TVs, and they're wanting to put the news out. They want to put like weather. They want to put updates, community updates. So on that train, you're obviously not going to have the news being blared through the cabin. And for about a year and a half, they were actually looking for this solution. And when we popped up on their radar, and so they're super excited. They're testing it right now, and I'm very confident that we'll be able to get a contract and get that deal closed probably before the end of the year. Any other questions?
I was interested in knowing, I know that there's a number of other industries when you and I were talking also. What other target markets have you slated to tap into?
So one thing that we can do is work with churches who might want to put out a multilingual signal, and we can easily do multi-languages. We can do different operations, and even get people to give the churches feedback with this app. So that's one thing. I'm also looking at esports or any kind of place where there's a tournament going on, where there's multiple media going on, and there's a crowd of people, because a lot of times there's different people like casters and sports announcers, and those people would like to hear them, but in a big crowded stadium, you can't really do that. So that's another channel as well.
Very nice.
Hey, Gerald. So in venues that it's already been deployed, has there been any noticeable type of return, increased satisfaction or, a better turnout?
Yeah, absolutely. So this isn't exactly a completely new model. There was a very successful rollout with tabletop speakers. So Smoky Bones a few years back had a speaker system that when you went in, you sat down, they'd hand you a speaker at your table. People loved it, and they're always coming up to me saying, hey, this is like that. The only problem with that system was it was very costly to maintain. So you had, a lot of rewiring you had to do to a restaurant. Then you had these speakers that you had to maintain. And it was very costly. In our situation, you're bringing all the hardware. We just provide the connection. So your own cell phone, your own app, your own earbuds, or your own Bluetooth speaker system will actually provide the same mechanics as the one previous with no real ongoing costs to the restaurant.
What was the thing that, what was the one moment that made you get into this? Like, how did you come to this point?
That's a great question. Appreciate it. Well, about 7 years ago, actually, I just graduated from business school, Florida Gulf Coast, and I moved here because I just thought, okay, I've got an entrepreneurship degree. Orlando's a great city. Let me go figure out something, to do, right? And I walked into an ale house, and I didn't know anybody in the city, but I thought this was a great place. And there's all these TVs, and I just said, wow, it'd be great if I could just get the audio to my cell phone. I'd probably sit here a little longer and hang out more, At that time, that was before mobile apps even existed. So, I looked into different ways of doing it back then, but it just wasn't technology feasible. And then two years ago, I was working a job, and I realized, the economy had come back, and it was just a really great time to start that entrepreneurial path. And that's when it kind of just came to me that, the same concept would work well with a mobile app. And it took off from there.
Another question that I have is, how long have you been working your concept, and now it's a business?
Yeah. So really full time, it's been just about 2 years. It'll be 2 years in January.
And
So in that time, we've gone from, this is our third generation unit, several app releases, and it just keeps getting better and better every single day. So it's amazing.
And did you reach out to get your first sponsor, or did they reach out to you? That would be interesting to know.
So we reached out to them. We've got about 3 sponsors that we're working with to subsidize the hardware equipment. So a lot of the problem comes with the upfront cost of the equipment. With our sponsors on board, now we can drop the price of the installation of a unit down significantly and still be profitable. And at the same time, you as a restaurant goer can look down and see, hey, there's a discount from a local beer or whatnot to actually take action.
Some people have limited download capacity on their iPhones, and you mentioned that it's through Wi-Fi. Does it actually come, do they actually have to go online with the place that they're at to get the signal, or does it come directly through the phone system to their app?
That's a great question. And so, no, indeed it is Wi-Fi. We actually set up our own networks on top of whatever's currently there so that it is a clear network. But the Wi-Fi signals that we set up are, you know, they're the best in class. We use enterprise level access points that allows us to have, you know, a sense of this is a regular system and we don't have any hiccups in that respect. So sometimes when you have difficulties with Wi-Fi, it isn't your phone exactly. It may be the institution wherever you're at that may have maybe a dead zone or, you know, a slower router, maybe it's overloaded. With our own networks, we're able to kind of monitor that and make adjustments so that it alleviates that problem. So they have to use up some of their No, absolutely not. No, Wi-Fi will allow you not to use any of your. Once you're on Wi-Fi, you stop using your cell data. So there's no data being used from your like plan.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
Hey, I'm a huge baseball fan, so I was interested when you said you got the Johnny Damon celebrity spokesman. So I was curious on how you landed that and how you plan to use that for
Yeah, well,
marketing.
that's a great question. We're actually doing a sports talk radio show, I believe next week or the next 2 weeks, and we're going to be asking their viewers to come out and do a demo day and come out and try it. But we also are working closely with Cox Media Group, and we have a multi-level prong approach to getting not only the brand recognized more places, building demand for it. So we'll be doing, you know, different videos with him, as well as those videos will be seen on cell phones and web browsers and different places as well. So we have a pretty awesome plan that we're laying out, and it'll take place over the entirety of 2016 to do brand development. Does that answer your question?
Okay, right here, Joe.
Okay, hey,
Number one, congratulations how far you've come.
thank you.
I did remember seeing your presentation before. What amazes me is how far you've come without even talking about money, without talking about an exit strategy, without talking about a team, there's a bunch of things. For me, I'm not somebody who's really a mobile app guy.
Right,
So it would be good for me to be able to see how somebody knows. Number one, they walk into a sports bar. How do they know what this feature is, how to access it, who tells them, who communicates it? Do you have displays out that are like, you know, counter when you walk through, or stickers on the window? But it was an education standpoint. What's it look like to be using it? If I'm walking past, tomorrow night I'm going to be at Dewey's Indoor Golf for an event, right?
Okay.
100 TVs. Can I walk by each TV and check it out?
Not exactly. I mean, I can give you an example of what it looks like. If you go to the graffiti junctions next door, you'll be able to see. I guess I can't give you an example on this one, because what it does, it automatically detects my Wi-Fi signals, and it actually brings you back a channel list, and the channels are right down the row, and then it actually identifies what's on that channel. So you don't have to go, 1, 2, 3. You can recognize that this is NBC Sports, or this is the Magic game, for example, and then the app actually reflects that in the keypad.
Your mic.
So you'll see, Orlando Magic is on this channel. And typically when you go, even though there's maybe 100 TVs at a location, they're typically never showing more than 8 opportunities. And so we can definitely fulfill that as far as you'll see them repeated. And as well as in-store advertising, we're doing basically a shotgun approach. We're trying different things at different locations and doing a lot of testing right now. And we're also laying the groundwork. So I'm working with, we're working with 2 different groups of DirecTV independent installers. We're working with independent sales organizations that are actually going out to AV suppliers and then selling the line card to them. And as well, we do have a really great team. So I actually was able to partner with a tech startup, an amazing tech startup by the name of SquareWave, who actually can support my users with a help desk. So I start to distribute these to AV installers. If they have a question, we can actually meet those needs on a nationwide basis. And as well, my software development team in Stackframe is a military contractor, so they're basically the best of the best when it comes to developing and ensuring the quality of the codes. And with Johnny Damon, you fill out that whole picture between support, construction, and then marketing, because his name is massive. And so what we're gonna do is take this year, do Central Florida and probably the South, and then we're gonna target up north and have a strategic plan. By that time, we'll have figured out the best way to in-store advertise. Thank you.
Hi. So I just have a question kind of about the origins of it. You said that you graduated as a business student, right? And you kind of just had a little bit of curiosity and you came up with this idea. As a business student, this has clearly got a lot of technology behind it. How did you go about finding like a team and perfecting the idea?
That's great. It's well, a lot of it was, pitching your idea to people who, could do something about it, and then people start to connect, and they kind of follow your dream. If it's a good enough dream, people start to say, hey, listen, you should call my friend or you should call my buddy. Right off the bat, I did a startup weekend, and I found my first co-founder, and he was also a developer. So we were actually able to get to a beta stage at that. I have a background in hardware systems. So I do a lot of board level electronics and other things like that. And so it was a mix of hardware, software, which got us to the next stage, raising capital, bootstrapping, I've been doing that for the last year and a half. And then we just actually graduated from an accelerator program called Venture Scale Up, put on by Dennis Pape in the Catalyst building. And that actually got me introduced to what I believe will be my first VC. And we're actively working with him. We actually have a number of other really big deals, but I'd like to just, come back next year and be like, this is what happened. But it's been an amazing progress from, we weren't sure if anybody was going to like it to lots of demand, and now trying to support the demand. So,
Any additional questions? So you know the drill. So what is it that we can do for you as a community? Is that app free?
oh yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we're installed at 3 locations, and what I'm going to do is the first couple of comments that I get from somebody who actually went to a location and give us positive feedback on the App Store, I'm going to mail them our brand new speakers, and I'll show you that.
Advantage to being in the room today.
Last year I was throwing out earbuds. This year I got speakers, but they're really neat. They're water resistant.
Power on.
And they're also, pretty much shock-proof. They even will recharge your cell phone. So you're sitting there, you're listening to the game, you're about to lose battery. No, my speaker will actually recharge your cell phone, plop it down. Now you can hear the TV you want, and they're pretty awesome. If I can
That's
say so.
super cool.
So if anybody wants to go to one of the graffiti junctions, Dr. Phillips, Longwood, or Harry Buffalo's downtown, try it out. Leave me a comment. I'll find you and mail you a speaker.
Very good. And what hashtags should we use to help trend you?
Let's see. Can you give me a suggestion there? Because I'm still
Well,
working on
you
that.
said that you were in a number of your targeted markets were churches, the sports bars. You had a list of those things. That might be a good start.
Yeah, well, churches, sports bars, public transportation, basically anywhere where media can be seen and not heard, we'd like to know how we can help.
Audio media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
audio media, audio engineers, opportunity, direct audio.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. We are going to take a really quick break. We want to again thank everybody for being here. The coffee's out there by Barney's. Thanks again to Rollins. We have 2 great volunteers that are here. Chad, raise your arm. And then Chelsea, she's got the other side of the mic. So we want to thank them also. And stay tuned. Give us 5 minutes to transition. Thank you.
Thank you.
One Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Kauffman Foundation.
Over the years, we've added more cities. Creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable.
Sitting in a room with other people that have ideas too, it helps people to leave thinking, you know what? My idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
Give everybody a second. Okay. Welcome back. I am Chelsea, another one of the newer volunteers. I wanted to take another moment to shout out our sponsors, Rollins for this beautiful space, Barney's for keeping us caffeinated, and Torch Studios for live streaming. I also want to mention again that it is Global Entrepreneurship Week. For those of us here, go to gew.com to check out the events locally and those live streaming in your city, wherever you are. Up next, we have Steve Alexander with Therewolf, and we are giving him the stage right now.
Give him a round of applause. Nice job, Chelsea.
So hey everybody, my name's Steve Alexander. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Therewolf, which is a local discovery platform that's revolutionizing the way restaurants, bars, and nightclubs market and connect with the perfect patron. So you've probably all seen these guys, right? The sandwich boards on the sidewalk, the posters in the windows, the tent cards on the tables. This is the go-to method for restaurants, bars, and nightclubs to get the word out about the compelling reasons to visit their place on a day-to-day basis, whether that's karaoke nights or live music or happy hours or lunch specials. But there's a huge problem here in that it's limiting the exposure to just existing patrons and passerbys on the street. So then you have social media. You've got Twitter, you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram. Great platforms to share virtually anything, but you have a very similar problem. But here you're not only limited to existing patrons or customers that have come to your establishment before, but the small fraction of those customers that actually find you on social media, follow, and engage with you. The National Restaurant Association actually released a statistic that only 8% of American adults have ever followed even a single restaurant, bar, or nightclub on social media. That leaves 92% of the market completely unengaged with your establishment. So what gives? I mean, there's a huge problem here. This is kind of unacceptable if you're a restaurant or business owner. I mean, their industry is spending $21 billion, $21 to $35 billion annually each year to market the great things about their restaurant, but they're kind of missing the boat. So let's put this to the test. Let's take a look at Orlando in our backyard, and let's look at some really cool events that are happening, and let's see if they match up with our expectations of how many we should expect. So show of hands, how many people like live music, whether that's karaoke or concerts, or so almost all of you, right? I bet you'd be shocked to know that there are over 275 places in Orlando that you can hear live music every single week. Every week, there are over 275 places that we don't know about. How about football fans? All right, if you're like me, buffalo wings are synonymous with football. There are over 50 places every single week that offer all-you-can-eat wing specials, 35 of which happen during Monday Night Football alone. I mean, that's crazy. Trivia nights. I love to play trivia. There are over 200 trivia nights every single week in our backyard. I knew of about 6 before starting Therewolf. These are places where you can go with your buddies and engage in a battle of wits to win free beer and free food. I mean, why wouldn't you want to know about these? But the one that really, really jumped out at me was there are over 250 nights in Orlando every single week where your kids can eat for free. Now, everybody's trying to save a buck these days, and it's tough to dine out with a big family, so knowing about these events is critical. So it's no surprise when we look at the numbers and we look at the marketing spend that over 80% of new restaurants, bars, and nightclubs fail within the first 2 years. And it's for this reason that we created Therewolf. So Therewolf is a local discovery platform that intelligently connects businesses, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs with the perfect patron, and patrons with the perfect place. And we do that by giving the business owners the power to create events and social posts in a matter of seconds on our platform. This exponentially increases your marketing exposure because now your events and what's going on at your establishment is discoverable by people who are interested in those things. We also allow business owners to intelligently market to customers in real time. there's an entire analytics platform available to the business owner where they can see what the interests are of the people around their establishment. And I'll give you an example of how it might be used. Let's say it's a Friday or Saturday night, and you're a bar owner, and you're off the beaten path in downtown Orlando. And there's hundreds, maybe thousands of people within steps of your establishment, and you've got great, great beer specials, and you've got a talented musician playing his heart out in the back, but you've got 2 people sitting at your bar. So you're losing money, you're bleeding tonight. But you know that there's so many people downtown, you're just not on the beaten path. You're not on Orange Ave, you might be on Magnolia. So you go into Therewolf and you see that all of these people are around you. You see what their interests are, and you can directly target the ones that are interested in the specials you have and in the music that you have to offer. So it's a win-win for the business and the customer, because now they're alerted that you have this amazing event going on just steps away from you. You can even send them a special to incentivize them to come. This significantly increases customer conversion. And Therewolf is not just another tool to use. It's not Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Therewolf. Therewolf is the only tool you need. We've built a platform that allows businesses to create posts on our platform in a matter of seconds, and it instantly publishes those same posts to your Twitter, your Facebook, and your Instagram profile. So you pull out Therewolf out of your pocket, and you create a post in seconds, and it's everywhere. So let's talk about market. There are over 1 million restaurant, bars, and nightclubs. Wow, my font is going wacky up there, so bear with me on that. There are over 1 million restaurant, bars, and nightclubs in the United States alone, with industry sales totaling over $700 billion. The average marketing spend by a single establishment is 3 to 5% of sales, which yields a modest $21 billion, $21 to $35 billion in potential market. So we can talk about competition. Obviously, social media is a competitor of ours. Banner ads, in-feed ads that you see for local establishments. We're going after the same market there. We've also got local publications, print and web. We've got Yelp and Foursquare. But none of these are doing exactly what we're doing to get the word out. Therewolf offers discoverable, time-sensitive data. If you pull it out, it's going to tell you what's happening right now around you based on your interests. That could be your favorite sports team is playing at XYZ bar, and maybe we can even tell you who's got direct audio, where the karaoke nights are, where the trivia nights are. We're aggregating currently and understanding existing social content, and this is one of the biggest differentiators that sets us apart from our competitors. We're leveraging the power of the social content that's out there. So if a bar, restaurant, or nightclub is currently posting on Twitter to 40 followers. Those 40 followers are seeing it, but that data is relevant. So we've built a system that listens to all of those profiles and intelligently, using artificial intelligence and machine learning, understands the content and makes it discoverable in our system. So when we launch, we're going to be as powerful in Orlando as we are in Juneau, Alaska, or San Diego, California. We also offer the real-time direct marketing for that bar that's off the beaten path. And we're the only tool you need. So the revenue model. So it's free to use for consumers and merchants to get on our system, to start posting content, and for consumers to start discovering content. We offer a premium analytics plan for businesses to tap into the power of information, to understand who's around you, to understand what your competitors are doing, to understand your existing patrons, what they like to do. What do they like to do on a Tuesday night when your sales are down? What do they like to do on a Wednesday night? What's on your most popular night, what can you attribute that to? Those type of insights you can get from our platform. And then targeted advertising, of course, in the form of direct marketing, banner ads, and promoted posts. So traction. So we're highly validated with consumers and merchants, and we believe we have a potentially industry-disrupting platform. We've talked with many independent restaurants in the area, as well as big restaurant groups, to validate and shape our product. We just completed Venture Scale Up along with JP, and I think the quick shout out to the guys at Catalyst, the guys and gals at Catalyst who are live streaming this on the web right now. So that was an awesome opportunity for us. We've done a couple consumer focus groups to talk with consumers about, what do they want to see, what types of events are they interested in, and how are they getting the message of what's going on around them currently. And we've already integrated our artificial intelligence and machine learning platform to understand and listen to existing social content. So real quick, the team. I'm Steve. My background is in consulting for marketing technologies with brands like Puma, Salesforce, BlackBerry, Target. My co-founder, Sean McPhee, he's our chief product officer. He's an Addy Award winner and just an all-around awesome designer and marketer of brands. Rob Dozier's our UI and UX developer who's contributed to projects for Cisco, LinkedIn, Florida Hospital, among others. And we have two amazing advisors that are veterans in the machine learning and artificial intelligence space that have helped us shape the back end of our systems. So to wrap everything up, we're validated and in high demand. We just completed the Venture Scale-Up Accelerator. We've got a potential market of $21 billion, and we're currently fundraising, and we've already had 75% of our initial round committed. So that's Therewolf.
All right, so does anybody have any questions?
So where does the name Therewolf come from?
You know, so for the longest time, we were never asked that, and we're asked that so much lately. So you can find it, it's there, and what helps you find things, or what animal is synonymous with hunting and finding things, and that's a wolf. It stemmed from an inside joke. If you guys are Mel Brooks film fans, and you've seen Young Frankenstein, you might get the reference there. So it's kind of an inside joke, but it kind of works.
Excellent presentation. I really liked how you put that together.
Thanks.
Fonts are fine. Question though is, you mentioned that your customers are going to be the people who are looking for restaurants and also the restaurants and establishments that have things to offer. Like, have you talked to your customers and really found that the machine learning, which looks great, is actually going to solve a specific problem that they said, if only I had machine learning, imagine the possibilities?
Great question. So the machine learning works in two ways, and it probably wasn't clear in the quick presentation. So the restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, they get on our platform. They create posts, they log things in our system, and it also manages their entire social media. We're supplementing the content that these businesses input into our system with the machine learning. So where a restaurant or bar in Cincinnati, Ohio, might not know that Therewolf exists, we're already listening to their existing content and making it discoverable in our system so that if customers, people like you and me, download Therewolf in Cincinnati and we don't have a large penetration with the business owners there, they can still find Therewolf useful because we're pulling the information off their social accounts for them. We also use machine learning in another way, and that's as a customer, as a consumer, the more you use Therewolf, it begins to understand the things you like to do. We tag characteristics and scores for characteristics to every place and every event that you go to. So if you happen to go to, I'll use Graffiti Junction as an example. If you happen to go to Graffiti Junction during trivia night, it's different than if it's during a sports game or if it's during ladies' night. So we take the characteristics of that specific night that you visited and attribute that to your profile. So we begin to understand the things you like to do so that here in Orlando, you'll begin to find a pattern of the things you like. But when you take a trip somewhere and you go to New York, where there's over 35,000 options for you at any given moment, it can recommend to you within a matter of seconds things that you'll already like to do, so you can feel like a local anywhere you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the person that doesn't like to download a lot of apps and kind of sticks to Facebook and that kind of thing, how do you kind of sell it to them to have to download this and use this? Like, how do you figure that out?
That's a good question. Let me give you some insight into one of our marketing strategies, and we're using the power of intelligence in our social media campaigns. So, for example, Facebook has a social graph, and we can tap into that and understand. Say you're a parent with kids, right? We can begin to market to you and say, "Did you know there are 35 places tonight in Orlando where your kids can eat free?" And that's a compelling reason, I think, for you to click on that and possibly download that app. But it is going to be difficult for people who aren't traditional app users, who don't have a phone full of various apps to download this. So that's going to be something we're going to have to figure out.
Good morning.
Hi.
I've been trying to organize my thoughts because I have a flood of information that I could share with you. Going back to like 1999, there were a couple of companies that were in this space but didn't have the devices to support it, so they were trying to actually manufacture the devices too. And for future reference, one of them is called Danger, the other is called Stick Networks, and they were very concerned about how social media was going to be able to penetrate the gatekeeper device and get people interested in showing up at venues, whether they were stores or restaurants or whatever. So point number one is a lot of what you're doing has at least been attempted, both in hardware and software, going back now for multiple decades. And as devices have gotten smarter, then clearly there's been a lot more interest coming at the application or the app stage, and we're seeing a lot of companies in this space that are doing things that are somewhat similar to what you're doing. So my question for you really just has to do with differentiation, because I like the presentation. I like the fact that you connected with me at the beginning of the presentation about learning about all of these different things happening in our community that I might be interested in doing this weekend, but I didn't quite get how I should want to download your app as opposed to the 3, 4, 10, 15, 20 others that are arguing for or clamoring for attention in this same space.
Excellent question. So there's, I'd say, 4 key differentiations. The first being that we knew that we had a very steep uphill battle to get venues on board. So we tackled that problem by building the intelligence platform. It's a social media aggregator that listens to 1 million restaurants, bars, and nightclubs. And it takes all of their content, understands what's an event, what isn't, utilizes entity extraction to extract the key components that we need to enter into our system and put it in there. So that when we launch, it's for consumers, we're relevant in many, many places. So that differentiates us from the competition, where there's a lot of other apps popping up on a daily basis that use a manual input method to get their data in the system. And that requires a ton of overhead and boots on the ground and a really long rollout to scale. So that's number one. Number two, we're intelligently connecting you quickly with things that you like to do. Now, our goal is to have almost every piece of information on what's going on around you. That's a lot of information for you to digest. We want to make it so that you can quickly find the things that you'll like to do, and we utilize artificial intelligence and machine learning to do that as well. The third reason is for the merchants. We've built a suite of tools for them. We're very much merchant focused. I mean, we love our consumers. We built this app with consumers in mind because we wanted to use it. But we know that we have to keep the merchants very, very happy so that they sustain the information, so that they find value in using the platform. So the analytics tool, it's unparalleled. No one else is doing something like that for the businesses, to provide real-time heat-mapped analytics based on who's around you, what your customers like, and what your competitors' customers like. The fourth differentiation is the ability to direct market in real time. So if you love acoustic music, and maybe specifically top 40 acoustic music and craft beer, and you're 5 blocks away from a place that has this going on right now, you might want to know about this. So we give the merchant the power to let you know that this is happening in real time, and no one else so far that we've seen can do this. So those are the 4 key things. So did that answer your question? Cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I was curious, are you also, because you're specifically in restaurants and bars, you know, the entertainment or hospitality side of it,
Right.
Are you also tapped into any of the meetups that may utilize those spaces?
So that's a great question. We would love to be. Our initial plan is to just focus on restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, but our ultimate goal is to help customers connect with anything they would like to do, and that goes for things like blueberry patches or apple picking or pumpkin patches or family-oriented activities that maybe aren't at restaurants, bars, and nightclubs. That's the ultimate goal, and we're working on building that into our system down the road.
I really like that one on the meetups. There's like 1,700 meetups in Central Florida. What I was looking at on this is how to make this more rewarding for yourself for the long haul, because there's going to be other things that you're going to want to venture off into, and they will all require capital. So if the model is free, what I was looking at is free for your first year. Year 2, $1.95. But if you've brought us 5 referrals who all get to join for free for the first year, you're good for 2 years. But if you want to get your 3rd year covered, 5 more. And now you're doing a viral growth market, but you're now bringing in to where year 2, it's $2.95. The thing is, the value of it will go up to each of the users because of the fact that each year they're using it more than they were the year before, and you're becoming more sophisticated in offering new features. Just an idea.
Yeah, that's a great point, and thank you for that. We're still pre-launch. We're in the back-end system is running right now, so we're currently building our database in real time of understanding the content that's out there. But we're going to work with various pricing models, A/B test a couple of those to see what works and what sticks.
I have a couple things. My first one is, let's say I do own a bar or a restaurant, and I do want to get involved. How does that relationship get established, and what does it look like?
Great question. So we're planning on rolling out that phase, the business tools, here in Orlando locally. So it'll be a lot of executive one-on-one sales for that. There's many inherently viral features about Therewolf. For example, if you manage your social media and you create a social post or you create an event on Therewolf, it's going to publish to your Twitter, your Instagram, and your Facebook. But it creates a landing page on therewolf.com. And that link is embedded in those posts. So now your followers are seeing Therewolf. Other merchants that follow you online are seeing Therewolf. They're going to this site. Once they see that it's free to sign up, they'll probably sign up as well. So we plan on utilizing the power of social media and the exponential growth that we might have based on those inherently viral features. So that's number one. Number two, we've got a couple marketing plans that we're working on, and we're focused on launching our consumer app at some big music festivals around the country. So we're going to tap into the local establishments around those festivals to roll out.
That's great. I have a second part.
Yeah.
That was number one. Number two, just thinking of the future, because I know right now your specific market is targeted bars and restaurants. So being a consumer and being in the education system, schools would be great, because there are so much that happen on my campus that I have no idea that's happening, but I would like to go.
Right.
I think that's a great one. And then also specific hubs. For example, in town they have the Citrus Club, and it's a hot mess to know what's going on all the time. So if I had a place where I could see everything happening in one, that would be great.
Right, so that's awesome. And then that kind of goes to the last question too. So the platform, it'll work for schools, it'll work for places like the Citrus Club. It'll even work for meetups. It's not our focus for the business tool, for our business customers right now. But if someone wants to download it and use it for that and enter that information in our system, awesome. We can get that information in our system. We're not currently listening to those channels on social media to aggregate that content. We're focusing just on the restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, but it's possible to get that in our system. And like I said, that's definitely where we want to go with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Who's next? Is people fighting?
This is my second turn, so I didn't want to go 2 times too fast. Just kind of tailing back on the revenue model, I just thought of one of the reasons why these apps are so great and they have proliferated is normally the user-generated content, not so much the establishment-generated content, because, of course, the establishment has a Facebook page. Why is it not working? Because the people who go there didn't create it.
Right.
If you find a way to incentivize people to create the content, just like she said, if I'm on a campus, I went to Therewolf, I created something, the organization that you're talking about should be notified. You know what, you have 100 people talking about you. Did you want to see the data analytics behind it? I'll charge you for that. Keep it free for the users. I think that would be a much stronger model.
Cool, and I thank you for that. And we have some. This is all based on our MVP product, which we had scaled back. Venture Accelerator really helped us to kind of focus and get really committed to a direction, which our product vision was much larger, which involved a lot of consumer-based social posting on there as well. So we cut that out for the time being to get it up and running. But we have some really cool plans for future iterations of Therewolf that allow consumers to interact with each other, to organize outings together, to follow the group where they go, and so on. So that's a great point, and we're definitely looking to that in the future.
Okay, in the spirit of 1 million cups, what can we do for you? And share your hashtags too.
So hashtags, I guess, would be Orlando or Find Your Place or anything related to getting out and doing things. We really want to focus on, we want to get out there and be known as a social platform that helps you to get out and experience life and not just sit behind your device or sit at home behind your computer. So anything related to that would be awesome for social. But for as far as what the community can do, two things. So check out therewolf.com and sign up for our beta so you can be the first to use it, test it, break it, tell us how we can be better. We'd love that. The second thing is to, if you know any restaurant, bar, or nightclub owners, or if you happen to be one, we'd love to talk with you. We'd love to understand your business. We talk with many in the area, and we want to get better. So we want to understand as much as we can about your business. So yeah.
Okay, that's super cool. We have a little video that we're going to be able to play, so stay tuned. Don't get up just yet for the networking part. Stephanie's going to cue it up because it is Global Entrepreneur Week. 1 Million Cups are in Kansas City. Our main headquarters is having a live streaming of the people, the three companies that were selected because they had done the pitch. And so this is a really big deal. You can also access it through our Facebook page. There at Randall, you put a direct link on there for people to watch, right?
Yes, we did.
Very good. Okay.
We did.
So, very good. So this is just a short little snippet of what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
And by the way, give him a round of applause. He did so good. This was a great pair to have. Ladies and gentlemen.
From Albany to Albuquerque, Anchorage to Asheville, and Portland to Peoria, 377 1 Million Cups entrepreneurs from 58 communities entered the 1 in a Million Startup Business and Pitch Competition. We've narrowed the field, and now we're one step closer to 1 in a Million. Tune in on Wednesday, November 18th at 9 a.m. Central to see the top 5 startups take the stage for a first-of-its-kind event that will be streamed live to all 1 Million Cup sites. It's 1 in a Million, from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
That's something that's exciting. It's happening at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is just about 1 minute away.
Yep. So thank you again for coming. Please share the word, send people to come and check us out. We will be closed next week. It is Thanksgiving, so don't come here because the campus is closed on Wednesday. But we will see you the following week, and stay tuned and check out the video. Thank you again for being here, and thanks to Barney's, to Canvas, to Catalyst Spaces, to Torch Studios, and Rollins, and all of our organizers too. Thank you.
Have a good Wednesday.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Kauffman Foundation.
Over the years, we've added more cities. Creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very valuable.
Sitting in a room with other people that have ideas too, it helps people to leave thinking, you know what? My idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.